What if the most important 10 minutes of your day were not the first ones upon waking, but the last 10 before you fall asleep? This is a truth so fundamental, yet so completely ignored by the masses who are struggling to change their lives. We are taught to greet the day with strength, to rise and grind, to seize the morning, but we are never taught how to properly close the day, how to command the vast, silent hours of the night. We treat sleep as a mere pause, a moment of unconsciousness, when in fact it is the sacred chamber where the blueprints of our next day, our next week, and our entire future are reviewed and approved. The quality of your sleep does not determine the quality of your rest. It determines the quality of your reality. Most people, without ever realizing it, carry the failures, the anxieties, and the vibrational poison of their day directly into their subconscious mind as they drift off to sleep. They rehearse their worries. They replay their arguments, they marinate in their lack, and in doing so they give a powerful and unambiguous command to the universe and to their deeper mind: bring me more of this tomorrow. They are in essence praying for a continuation of their own struggle. This nightly ritual of worry ensures that the chains of yesterday become the prison of tomorrow. They wake up tired, not because they didn't sleep, but because their soul was hard at work all night, building another day of the same exact hardship they fell asleep thinking about. It is the most tragic form of self-sabotage. In the next few minutes, I will reveal to you the exact technique, the precise mental ritual that the great achievers, the quiet giants of industry studied by Napoleon Hill, used to reverse this process entirely. They understood a profound secret. The moments just before sleep are a direct gateway to the subconscious mind. This is the time when the conscious guard is down, and you can plant a seed directly into the fertile soil of creation. They learned how to stop praying for more problems and start delivering divine orders to their subconscious mind, forcing it to work tirelessly on the solutions to their financial challenges, to attract opportunities, and to architect a new reality, all while they slept. This is not wishful thinking, it is a mental technology. You know this moment intimately. The house is finally quiet, the demands of the day have ceased, and your body aches for rest. You pull the covers close, seeking a sanctuary from the world. Your head sinks into the pillow, a gesture of surrender, but true rest does not come. In the deafening silence of your room, another world awakens, a far louder, more chaotic world within your own mind. The physical exhaustion you feel is suddenly overshadowed by a mental energy that is restless, frantic, and merciless. It is in this supposed sanctuary of your bed that the real battle of your day is not ending, but just beginning. You are alone with your thoughts, and tonight, they are not your friends. They are your tormentors, armed with the evidence of your every perceived failure. Instead of the peace you crave, your mind begins its nightly torture, its sacred duty to replay every worry, every debt, every single what-if that haunts your waking hours. It projects a film onto the back of your eyelids, a horror movie starring your deepest fears. You see the stack of unpaid bills on the kitchen counter, their red letters like glowing embers in the darkness. You hear the echo of a conversation where you felt small, powerless, or disrespected. You feel that familiar, cold knot tightening in your stomach, the physical manifestation of a life lived under constant, unrelenting financial pressure. This isn't relaxation. This is a ritual of reinforcement for every negative belief you hold about yourself and your place in the world. Does this internal monologue of despair sound familiar to you? Is this the silent war you fight when the lights are out and the world believes you are at peace? You lie there, motionless, so as not to disturb your partner, but inside you are running a marathon of anxiety. You calculate and recalculate your debts, searching for a solution that never seems to appear. The numbers swim in your head, mocking you, reminding you of how hard you have worked and how little you have to show for it. It's a suffocating feeling, the sense that you are trapped in a maze of financial obligation, and every turn you take leads back to the same wall of scarcity and stress. This is the secret burden you carry. The film continues, and the scene shifts to the opportunities you missed, the investments you were too scared to make, the career path you abandoned for a deceptive sense of security. Your mind, in its cruelty, then scrolls through the highlight reels of others' lives. You see their vacations, their new homes, their children's successes, and the blade of comparison twists deeper. It's not that you begrudge their happiness, but their triumphs serve as a painful mirror, reflecting back at you everything you feel you have failed to achieve. The thought echoes in the silence. Why not me? After all this time, after all this effort, why am I still stuck in this same place? It's a question that offers no comfort, only a deeper sense of isolation. And beneath all of these thoughts, Beneath the noise and the mental clutter lies the deepest and most profound fear of all, the fear of the future, the fear of reaching the age of retirement with nothing but worry as your companion, the terror of not being able to provide for your family in the way you always dreamed, of becoming a burden instead of a pillar of strength. It is the chilling realization that time is no longer an infinite resource. The years are accelerating, and the window of opportunity to build a life of genuine freedom, dignity, and purpose feels like it is closing, inch by painful inch. This unspoken dread is the heaviest weight of all, pressing down on your chest long after you finally drift into a troubled sleep. You have been told that this is just a normal part of adult life, that this anxiety is a sign that you are responsible, that you care. But this is a lie. This nightly ritual is not normal. It is a profound spiritual sickness. It is the act of poisoning the garden of your mind right before the seeds of tomorrow are meant to sprout. You are conditioning your very soul to expect hardship, to anticipate failure, and to attract more circumstances that will only validate these fears. This cycle is the true source of your stagnation, the invisible anchor that keeps your ship from sailing into the harbor of prosperity, no matter how hard you row during the day. Understand this now, so that you may begin to heal. You are not alone in this struggle, but you have been fighting the wrong enemy. You have been wrestling with the symptoms, the bills, the job, the economy, while the true adversary has been hiding in plain sight, operating under the cover of darkness. It is this pattern, this unconscious nightly programming that must be broken. It is this misaligned use of your incredible creative power that has held you captive. But tonight, that ends. Tonight, we reclaim that sacred space. Tonight, you will learn how to transform your greatest source of pain into your most powerful point of creation, turning your nights of anxiety into engines of abundance. For decades, we have been fed a simple and ultimately deceptive narrative about success. The world has told us with unwavering conviction that the answer to all our financial problems is to simply work harder. We were taught to be the first to arrive at the office and the last to leave. We were conditioned to praise the hustle, to glorify burnout, and to sacrifice our peace, our families, and our health on the altar of relentless effort. This philosophy has become a cultural mantra, a badge of honor worn by millions, but it is a cleverly disguised trap. It is a system designed to keep you so busy, so exhausted, and so focused on the external world that you never have a spare moment to discover the true source of power which lies dormant within you. But if raw brute force effort were the one true secret to prosperity, wouldn't the world look vastly different? If the equation for wealth was simply hard work equals financial success, why do so many dedicated, honest, and tireless men and women arrive at the twilight of their lives with an abundance of fatigue but a scarcity of resources? They followed all the rules. They made all the sacrifices. They climbed the ladder with all their might, yet they find themselves standing on a rung far below where they ever dreamed they would be. This painful paradox is the ultimate proof that we have been sold an incomplete map. We have been taught how to use our hands, but not our minds. We have been taught how to toil, but not how to attract. The truth is this: effort without correct mental and spiritual direction is like rowing with all your might in a boat that is securely anchored to the bottom of the harbor. You can sweat, you can strain, you can exhaust every muscle in your body, but you will not move an inch from your current circumstances. You will only succeed in tiring yourself out while watching other boats glide effortlessly past you into the open sea. The great secret is not to row harder, but to finally pull up the anchor. This anchor is your own subconscious programming, the deeply held beliefs of lack and limitation that you reinforce every single night. The path of effort is finite and exhausting. The path of alignment, however, is infinite and energizing. What Napoleon Hill discovered during his decades of research was not a new strategy or a clever business tactic. He was a journalist of genius, a detective of the human spirit. He uncovered something far more profound: a timeless, universal law that operates with the same predictability as gravity. He found that every great captain of industry, every visionary leader, every self-made millionaire he studied was consciously or unconsciously applying the same mental principles. They had all mastered the art of communicating with the deeper, more powerful part of their mind. Hill did not invent this law any more than Newton invented gravity. He simply decoded it, stripping away the mystery and presenting it as a practical science that any person could learn and apply to achieve any definite purpose in life. This science of the mind is not a modern invention. It is an ancient truth, a golden thread woven through the wisdom of all ages. Just as the great scriptures of the world have taught us for millennia to meditate upon the word day and night, Hill understood that the mind, in the moments just before sleep, enters a sacred state. It is a holy interval where the veil between the conscious and the subconscious becomes thin. In this receptive, suggestible state, the subconscious mind does not question, it does not doubt, and it does not analyze. It simply and faithfully accepts whatever thought, feeling, or image is impressed upon it with conviction. This is the divine mechanism of creation. The tragedy is that most of humanity uses this sacred moment to impress upon their mind the very things they do not want. The ritual I am about to share with you is the practical application of this ancient and powerful law. It is the tool that allows you to consciously and deliberately harness this nightly process of creation. Think of it as learning the language of your own soul, the command codes for your subconscious mind. You will learn to stop planting the seeds of worry and scarcity by default and start sowing the seeds of wealth, health, and abundance with deliberate intent. This is not a trick or a technique to be tried once or twice. This is a sacred practice, a nightly communion with the creative power within you. It is the key that unlocks the workshop of your mind, allowing you to become the divine architect of your own destiny. The next 10 minutes are not a chore to be added to your day. They are the most important business meeting you will ever take. This is a sacred appointment between you, the conscious CEO of your life, and the silent, infinitely powerful partner that is your subconscious mind, the master builder who constructs the edifice of your reality. For too long, you have neglected this partner, allowing it to operate without clear instructions, building from the chaotic blueprints of your daily fears and anxieties. This ritual is designed to change that forever. It is a structured three-step conversation that will align your deepest creative power with your highest conscious intentions. Pay close attention, for each step is a crucial component in the alchemy of manifestation. Each phase of this ritual builds upon the last, like a master locksmith carefully aligning the tumblers of a complex lock. The first step changes your energetic frequency, making the mind receptive. The second step provides the precise, unambiguous instruction. And the third step seals that instruction with the emotional power required to command creation. You cannot skip a step, nor can you perform them without intention. This is not a mechanical process. It is a spiritual one. You are learning to speak the native language of the universe, a language composed of gratitude, faith, and feeling. For the next 10 minutes each night, you will cease being a victim of circumstance and become the deliberate, conscious creator of your life. We begin with the first step, which will last for 3 minutes, the deliberate closure. Before you can ask the universe for something new, you must first express genuine appreciation for what you already have. You cannot build a magnificent new reality on a foundation of dissatisfaction and resentment for your current one. That would be like asking a master gardener to plant a prize-winning rose in a patch of soil that is choked with weeds and poisoned with bitterness. The first and most essential task is to prepare the soil of your mind. You must gently clear away the mental debris of the day, the frustrations, the disappointments, the anxieties, and create a fertile, welcoming space for a new seed to be planted. This preparation is achieved through the focused and intentional practice of gratitude. It sounds simple, and it is, but its power is profound. For these first 3 minutes, your only task is to identify and acknowledge at least 3 specific things from your day for which you are genuinely thankful. The key here is specificity. Do not simply say, "I'm grateful for my family." Instead, feel the gratitude for the way my child laughed at my joke after dinner, or the quiet moment of connection I had with my partner. Vague gratitude has little power. Specific gratitude connects you directly to the positive emotional charge of a real, lived experience, which is what begins to transform your inner state. Perhaps you are grateful for the taste of your morning coffee, the warmth of the sun on your skin during your lunch break, or a single sentence in a book that made you pause and think. It does not matter how small or insignificant these things may seem to your conscious mind. The subconscious is not concerned with scale, it is concerned with feeling. By focusing on these small, tangible moments of grace, you are sending a powerful signal to the universe and to your deeper self. You are declaring, "Despite my challenges, my life is already imbued with goodness. I'm already in a state of receiving blessings." This declaration is the essential first step in opening the channels for more to flow to you. Gratitude is not merely a polite sentiment, it is a potent vibrational frequency. When you are in a state of anxiety or lack, your entire being is vibrating at a low, contracted frequency. In this state, you are a magnetic match for more problems, more scarcity, and more reasons to worry. Gratitude is the fastest and most effective way to instantly elevate your frequency. As you focus on what is good, you shift from the energy of desperate needing to the energy of graceful receiving. You become an energetic match for solutions, opportunities, and abundance. In these 3 minutes, You are not just counting your blessings, you are fundamentally recalibrating your entire energetic signature to align with prosperity. So, as you lie there, let the feeling associated with each grateful thought wash over you. Don't just think the words. Allow the genuine warmth of appreciation to spread through your chest. Feel it as a physical sensation. This is not a mental exercise in listing positive things. It is an emotional and spiritual immersion into the state of thankfulness. It is this palpable feeling of fullness, of appreciation, of being blessed right now, that quiets the anxious mind. It tells the gatekeeper of your subconscious that all is well, that you are safe, and that it is now time to receive new positive instructions for the future you are building. You have successfully prepared the sacred ground. Now we move to the second step, the heart of your command, which will last for 4 minutes. The impregnation of the mind with auto-suggestion. Having prepared the soil with gratitude, it is now time to plant the specific seed of your desire. This is where we employ one of Napoleon Hill's most powerful tools, the major definite purpose. This is a clear, concise, written statement of your most important goal, phrased in the present tense as if it has already been achieved. This statement is the architectural blueprint that you are about to hand over to your master builder. It must be free of ambiguity, doubt, or any hint of a future possibility. It must be stated as a present moment fact. Your task for these 4 minutes is to take your written statement and read it aloud to yourself in a low, quiet, and emotional voice. If you are in a situation where you cannot speak aloud, you can whisper it, or simply move your lips as you read it silently. The physical act of speech, even if silent, engages the body and mind more deeply than passive thought. You are to read your statement over and over for the full 4 minutes. The goal is repetition, to bypass the critical faculty of the conscious mind and impress this new truth directly upon the receptive substance of the subconscious mind. This is not a request. It is a decree. A powerfully constructed statement might be, "I am so happy and grateful now that increasing quantities of money are coming to me from multiple sources on a continuous and ever-increasing basis for the good of all." Notice the structure of this statement. It begins with gratitude, assuming the feeling of the wish fulfilled. It speaks in the present tense, are coming, not will come. It is specific yet flexible, multiple sources, allowing the universe to deliver in unexpected ways. And it concludes with a benevolent intention, for the good of all, which aligns your personal desire with a higher purpose, removing any subconscious resistance related to selfishness or greed. You must write a statement that resonates deeply with you. As you repeat these words, the most critical element is the feeling you generate. You must endeavor to feel the truth of what you are saying. What would it feel like to know, with absolute certainty, that this statement was true? Feel the relief. Feel the freedom. Feel the joy. The subconscious mind is the domain of emotion. It is not persuaded by logic or by the mere mechanics of repeating words. It is moved and commanded by deep, heartfelt feeling. This is what Hill called active faith. It is the act of choosing to believe in your desired reality so completely that your body responds emotionally, as if it were already here. You are performing a sacred act of reprogramming. For years, you have unconsciously repeated statements of lack and limitation to yourself. "I can't afford that. I'm always in debt. I never get a break." These phrases have become deeply embedded programs that run your life on autopilot. This 4-minute ritual is the act of consciously overwriting that old faulty code. With each repetition of your new statement, imbued with the feeling of faith, you are chiseling away at the old limiting beliefs and carving a new groove of prosperity into the very fabric of your mind. You are giving your faithful servant a new, empowering, and unambiguous command to execute. Finally, we arrive at the third and final step, which seals your command and will last for the remaining 3 minutes, the visualization of the conquest. After preparing the mind with gratitude and impregnating it with your verbal decree, you must now impress it with the corresponding image. The subconscious mind thinks primarily in pictures and symbols. A picture, as the old saying goes, is worth 1,000 words, and to the subconscious it is worth 1,000,000. This final step is what takes your command from an abstract idea and transforms it into a living, breathing sensory experience, making it irresistibly real to the creative mechanism within you. It is the final seal on your nightly orders. Your instruction for these last 3 minutes is to close your eyes and construct in your imagination a single, clear, static scene. This scene must be an image that implies your desire has already been completely fulfilled. This is a crucial distinction. You are not to visualize the process of how you will get the money or achieve the goal. Visualizing the how can create anxiety and doubt. Instead, you must go directly to the end result. See a snapshot, a single frozen moment in time that could only exist if your wish had already come true. Hold this one scene in your mind's eye for the full 3 minutes. For example, if your goal is financial freedom, you might visualize yourself calmly opening your online banking app and seeing the exact balance you desire, feeling the profound sense of peace and relief that washes over you. Or you might visualize the scene of you handing the keys to a new, fully paid-for home to your overjoyed family, feeling their hugs and hearing their words of joy. Perhaps you visualize yourself sitting on a beach during your dream vacation, feeling the warm sun on your face and the gentle breeze, knowing with every fiber of your being that all your bills are paid and your financial future is secure. Choose one powerful, emotionally charged end result scene. This act of visualization, charged with the emotion you have cultivated, is what crystallizes your desire into a vibrational reality. The feeling is the prayer. The joy, the relief, the freedom, the security that you generate during this visualization is the very essence of what you are asking for. You are giving your subconscious mind not just an instruction, but a taste of the destination. You are providing it with the precise emotional and sensory signature of your fulfilled desire. This feeling is the magnetic force, the spiritual currency that your subconscious mind will use to bend reality, attract opportunities, and guide your actions to bring that visualized scene out of the ethers and into your waking world. Remember the scene we painted earlier? The silent house, the exhausted body, the mind at war with itself. Remember the suffocating weight of the bills, the sting of comparison, the cold dread of an uncertain future. That is the night of the unconscious creator, a night spent in the chaotic workshop of fear, building another day of the same familiar struggle. For years you have allowed that version of the night to define the reality of your morning. You have laid your head on your pillow and unintentionally commanded your soul to prepare for another day of hardship. But that version of the night is now a choice, not a sentence. You now possess the knowledge to choose differently. Contrast that chaotic night with the one that is now available to you. Imagine instead a night of profound power and purpose, a night where you deliberately calm the waters of your mind, connect with your deepest creative power, and issue clear, benevolent commands for your future. Imagine the feeling of your head hitting the pillow, not with a sense of dread, but with a quiet, smiling confidence. The bedroom is no longer a battlefield where you wrestle with your anxieties. It has been transformed into a sacred temple, a launchpad from which you dispatch your most cherished intentions into the fertile ethers of creation. This is not just a better way to sleep, it is a better way to live. Imagine the peace of falling asleep, not with the heavy weight of the world resting on your shoulders, but with the serene confidence of a master architect who has just delivered the final perfect blueprints of a magnificent cathedral to his most faithful and infinitely capable builder. You do not worry about how the builder will source the stone or lift the giant timbers. Your work is done. You have done your part with clarity and faith, creating the vision in meticulous detail. Now you simply turn it over to the master craftsman who works in the silence and in the darkness, and you rest in the absolute knowing that the work is being done and the result is guaranteed. This is the relationship you must now cultivate with your subconscious mind. It is your faithful builder. As you sleep, it does not. It takes your blueprints, your words, your feelings, your images, and it begins its tireless work. It sifts through all the information in the universal mind. It arranges synchronicities. It influences the people you will meet. It nudges your intuition, and it prepares the path for you. It lays the foundation for your morning. Your only job is to provide it with a worthy blueprint, a vision of abundance instead of a schematic of fear. Then you must let go and allow the master builder to do its sacred work, trusting the process completely. When you begin to practice this, you will notice a shift not just in your nights but in your mornings. You will begin to awaken not with that familiar jolt of anxiety and a wave of exhaustion, but with a new sense of energy, a quiet hum of purpose. Your mind will feel clearer, less cluttered. Your intuition will become sharper, guiding you with subtle hunches and sudden insights that seem to come from nowhere. You will start to notice and attract the very opportunities, ideas, and conversations that are in perfect alignment with the commands you issued the night before. You will no longer be chasing life. You will find that life, in all its abundance, is beginning to flow gracefully toward you. Your transformation, therefore, does not begin tomorrow. It does not start with a new morning routine or a resolution for next week. It begins tonight. It begins in that sacred 10-minute interval between your waking world and your sleeping world. The choice before you is simple and clear. You can choose the old night, the night of unconscious destruction, and guarantee a morning that is a reflection of your past. Or you can choose the new night, the night of conscious creation, and begin architecting a morning that is the dawn of your magnificent future. The power has always been yours. You simply didn't know how to wield it. Now you do. This is not a call to like this video or to subscribe to this channel. Those are passive actions. This is a direct call to action for your own soul. It is a challenge from me to you to commit to your own liberation. Will you give yourself the gift of these 10 minutes tonight? Will you turn off the television, put down the phone, shut out the noise of the world, and enter into this sacred ritual of self-creation? The invitation is to give yourself the most profound present imaginable, the gift of a night that intentionally builds your dreams rather than a night that unintentionally reinforces your fears. Your future self is pleading with you to accept. Step into this power tonight. Perform the ritual not as an experiment, but as an act of devotion to the life you were always meant to live. Do it with faith, with feeling, and with the deep inner knowing that you are engaging with the very laws of creation. Trust the process, surrender the outcome, and allow the magic to unfold in your life, starting from this night forward, because you now understand the profound and life-altering truth that will forever separate you from the struggling masses. You now know how to command your reality. In the silence of the night, I decree the abundance of the morning.